Hey, what's up guys, it's Austin here from Mutation Creation. In today's Showcase Saturday episode, we have the Mahogany gene. This is a gene we don't have too much here at Mutation Creation, but it does do some really cool things, and we have it into the pied. We're getting it into the clown a bit. I do have some that I'm going to show, so we're going to get into that. But right here is just a normal gene, Mahogany. This one is actually 100% het for pied. That's why we got some dragging towards the tail there. Usually you have a really uniform pattern with some nice alien heads and keyholes along the side, and somewhat of a dorsal stripe. This one's a little bit elongated because of the het pied, but very overall a dark snake, and it brings in a lot of cool dark tones. But this is the base, so let's hop into some really cool combos right now. So here's one of our breeder males. This is a pastel lesser Mahogany, 100% het for clown. When you add the pastel, it kind of takes away that Mojave look from the Mahogany lesser. This looks more like a pastel lesser with the Mojave pattern inside. So pastel and lesser gives you a really nice soft tones like this, but the pattern's more alien heads, more like what you're seeing over here. With the Mahogany added, it gave you that really nice dorsal stripe once again, and then the uniform pattern on the side with all the keyholes. And it also did darken stuff up a little bit. If you look at the dorsal, you got some darker tones in there, but it's really being washed out from the pastel. But still a really cool combo, and we're actually able to hit some clown combos with this. So we don't just have a Mahogany clown. This right here is a vanilla Mahogany clown, but vanilla is kind of a subtle gene, so you can really get an idea of what the Mahogany clowns look like. If you look at the snake right away, we have some really cool pattern, a lot of keyholes, and if you look at the keyholes, the black dots inside of them are really blown out and bigger, and it just gives it a really nice contrast to that nice yellow and bronze tones we're seeing in here. And if you also look at all the alien heads, they have this really nice dark outline to them, which makes them stand out that much more. Gives you a lot of contrast with those lighter flaming colors that you see coming up from the belly. No yellow belly in the snake, but you still get a lot of flaming with the Mahogany stuff, which I think is really cool. And then of course this one has vanilla in it, so it's brightening up that head a little bit. You can see the back of the head there, we got some brightness. And it also drags some of the pattern towards the tail. That's exactly what's happening here on both sides. So Mahogany clowns look pretty cool, and we're able to hit some combos. Let's go see them. Here we have a pastel Mahogany clown. You can see how much drastically it has changed adding pastel into there. Once again, we still have that yellow belly like flaming, even though there's no yellow belly inside. And we also still have those really nice bold blacks inside of the keyholes. The only thing that really changed was the overall color of the snake. It's a lot more brighter with the pastel, of course. You even still have those really nice outlines around all the pattern. Really nice dark black gives you some contrast with those lighter colors. And of course, pastel clowns have washed out heads, but if you look at this one, there's a lot more speckling and pattern on it, which is really cool. And just behind the neck, you kind of got like ears. It looks very nice on both sides. And I just really like that speckling on top of the head. Gives it a lot more character than just a normal pastel clown. And there's a lot more things to be added into this. I think if we added spot nose, maybe even leopard, we can change that head stamp even more and make it even better than what it looks like now. Maybe even adding another dose of Mahogany in there, getting the Suma. I'd love to see some Suma clowns. We're working on that in the future as well. But this is the pastel Mahogany clown. Here we got a pretty cool combo male. This is a pastel lesser Mahogany, orange dream, yellow belly, possible fire clown. And I just love the flaming on this guy. Has a couple of different tones in there. There's some oranges coming up, some yellows, and almost some reds. The pastel really washes away the reds, but you can really see the oranges in there, and it looks amazing. And it's kind of hard to describe what's going on in this snake because there's so many genes. But if you're looking at the pattern, how it's chaining all the way together and making all these really weird, I don't even know what type of shapes there are, but just dropping down like this, that is from the spot nose in there, as well as having the lesser. Spot nose and lesser together, love to do that. But you do have some fighting where you do have those really big alien heads with the really big blacks, but since there's no black in the snake, it's going to come into these nice orange colors, but that is from the Mahogany. And if you look, the flaming from the belly is coming up from the yellow belly, of course, and then we got some really nice dragging of the pattern towards the tail here, and that's from the orange dream. Orange dream tends to drag a lot of the pattern towards the end of the tail, and then right here it looks like a huge long human centipede thing going on, but it starts from about halfway to the snake all the way to the tail. The snake's also possible fire, so he's breeding right now. We'll know soon, but until we prove him out, he's only a possible. But the head on this thing is just really nice and blushed out. We lost a lot of that pattern on the head with all the genes added in, but we still get some of it coming through sporadically. You notice that there's no real pattern, it's just some dots on the head there. Even on this side of the head we got 2 dots there, and on this side. But just a really cool combo, and we're actually lucky enough to have this in the female version without pastel. So let's look at that right now. So here we have the non-pastel version. This is a Mahogany Lesser, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Spot Nose, possible Fire Clown. And the reason it's possible Fire, again, it's a little bit hard to tell, but it was inside of the pairing. And when you have this many genes, you're just going to have to prove it out by breeding it. And I could have even got 1 or 2 wrong in here, but I'm pretty sure it's at least a Lesser, Mahogany, Spot Nose, Yellow Belly, Head Clown. Not too sure about the Orange Dream because we do have some dragging towards the tail, but not as much as the last one did. The Mahogany, Lesser, Orange Dream, and Yellow Belly played a really big role on the colors inside of the snake. I'm getting these really nice orange tones, yellows, even some green type tones again from the Lesser. And this almost looks like it's a hypo, but there's no hypo in the pairing, so very nice looking snake. Look at the head there. A lot of nice faded colors. You got some purples in the head, some oranges going into, and a lot of creamy tones, which just looks amazing. And once again, Spot Nose is in here. You can tell by the pattern. We're getting a lot of those human centipede looking things again. And just the overall tone of the snake is just really cool. Not too sure where we're going to take this in the future. Maybe get some recessive stuff like Ultramel in here to really enhance those oranges and make it pop that much more. But only the future will tell. So we're going to step away from the Mahogany Clowns because that's all the ones that we have here. And we're going to go show you some more combos and then get into some pies. So these next 2 snakes are very similar to those 2 clowns I've shown you. This one is an Orange Dream, Fire, Yellow Belly, Spot Nose, Mahogany, Lesser, Hetfer Clown. And this is a pastel Orange Dream, Fire, Yellow Belly, Mahogany, Lesser, Hetfer Clown. I might be missing 1 or 2 genes in each, but if you look at them, they are insane looking. Definitely not what I was expecting from Mahogany combos. We'll take a look at this one right here first, and you can just see how wacky the pattern is. And that's a mix between the Lesser Mahogany and the Spot Nose. Of course, the Lesser Mahogany giving you that a little bit of like a Mojave pattern, but then when you add the Spot Nose into there, it totally whacks it out and just makes it look, I don't even know what it looks like, but it definitely does not look like a Mojave anymore. Then of course you got Orange Dream, which is enhancing the tail and dragging a lot of it together on both sides. And then of course we got the Yellow Belly in here as well, which is giving us a little bit of flaming coming up from the top. And we're pretty sure this one has Fire because of the really nice dorsal stripe inside of it. We noticed that Lesser Fires tend to have dorsal stripes, but Spot Nose can also do that too, so we're not 100% sure on the Fire in both of these snakes because Fire can be a little bit harder to identify, but then when you add the pastel into it, it takes the colors and really makes it that much brighter, especially the head. You have that really washed out head there, but you still have that Spot Nose head stamp on it. And then of course, just everything in this snake just looks amazing. The Yellow Belly and the Orange Dream really work nice together in this snake. I'm gonna say this one does have Fire because how bright the colors are and how chained it is towards the end. Orange Dream and Fire have a really nice reaction together where they give a really nice brightness to the snake. The snake might actually not even have pastel in it, thinking about it now, but we're not too sure. So these are both males. Both of them are almost breeding size, so we'll tell in the future. Same pairing as both of those clowns were. We just weren't lucky enough to hit any clowns this time, but 2 really cool Mahogany combos. So here we have the Mahogany Pied. If you remember that first snake I showed you, there was a Mahogany Het Pied. That's actually the mother to this one. And as you notice right away, the Mahogany brought some really nice dark tones into the Pied, but still has a lot of bright tones as well, especially along the dorsal. If you look over here, we have a nice yellow glow to the dorsal and even some peppering along the side of the saddles. It looks really cool, and even along the saddles we have these really nice dark tones, which is a nice contrast to the nice yellow peppering we're getting. And Mahogany is definitely a good base to go and get a lot of dark combos into the Pied. Adding black pastel into here and Mojave is definitely some things we're working on towards this year to make some really dark Pieds for the future. We kind of slacked on the Mahogany, as you can see. This is pretty much all the Mahogany stuff we have in the collection, with 1 more to show you after this. But Mahogany and Pied is very cool. I just like all the very dark tones and how jet black you can get some of the scales inside of the Pied. Maybe getting the Suma version of this, maybe even adding black pastel, Mojave, and even leopard. We can make this darker in the future. For now, this is our only Mahogany Pied, but we're definitely going to be hitting a lot more in the future, maybe even adding the MJ Xanthic into it. Comment down below which way you guys would take the Mahogany Pieds, and let's get into the very last snake. So for the very final snake we have for the Mahogany, it's going to be a Super Mahogany, or better known as a Suma. But right off the bat, you might notice the Sumo looks a little bit different than your average one. The normal Sumos have this really nice dark brown tone, and it has a little bit of a dorsal pattern. But the pattern that's coming on the sides, we have no idea what's going on with it. The pairing for this was that Mahogany het pied that you saw at the beginning to a Suma het pied. So possibly this could be the het pied doing it, but we're not 100% sure. There might be another gene at play in that Suma het pied male. It came from Justin. But nonetheless, a really cool looking combo. Comment down below what you think's going on in here. Could be like a granite type gene or like a hidden gene Woma, but we're not too sure. Fingers crossed that it's something cool, so in the future we can be making a lot of cool combos. And this girl's almost breeding size. Probably next season we'll get her to go, and just can't wait to see what we make with it. Comment down below what your favorite Mahogany combo was today. Mine's gonna have to be that Orange Dream Fire Yellow Belly Spot Nose Mahogany Lesser Clown. That really nice orange hypo looking clown. We're definitely gonna be coming back to Mahogany as well as a lot of other genes in the Showcase Saturday series to go show you the new stuff that we make with it and how we've improved our collection. That's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace out.